Hello and welcome to my top 10 destinations and things to see, things to do in Quito, Ecuador. Starting with the historical center, also known as Plaza Grande. This is one of the, I think it's actually the main and central public square in Quito. This is let's say it's a symbol of the executive power of the nation. And yeah, as you can see in the images, there are also museums and other cathedrals around. So yeah, this is basically where you should start, right in the center. Then, of course, all together, I would also mention the Basilica of the National Vow, translated in English. In Spanish, it's Basilica del Voto Nacional. This is basically a Roman Catholic church. Also located in the historical center. It's not far from the Plaza Grande, and this one is actually the largest neo-Gothic basilica in the Latin America. So this is totally worth visiting. You can see the videos. I've been there. Very nice. I totally recommend it. Now moving on, we have the Virgin of El Panecillo, also known as the Virgin of Quito. Yeah, so this is the statue, as you can see in the images. This is a monument in Ecuador. It's located on the top of the hill called El Panecillo. And yeah, basically this is actually one of the highest statues in South America. It's actually the highest in Ecuador. So it has how much? 41 meters. 41 meters, yeah. And according to the internet, is also the tallest aluminum statue in the world. So yeah, definitely worth visiting. Then we have the Teleférico, Mirador de los Volcanos, the Swing in the Clouds, and the Volcano Park. So these are all close together. Basically, the Teleférico from Quito is one of the highest aerial lifts in the world. It goes from 3,000 meters to nearly 4,000 meters. So yeah, as you can see in the videos, it's very nice. It's quite a long journey. Well, long. I mean, it takes, I think, 15 to 20 minutes, but it's like the view from it is simply amazing. And not to mention once you're at the top. So at the top you will also find this mirador, which is like a, how should I call it? Well, it's a place where you can see the view of the whole city, and yeah, there are also there's also a swing in the clouds, because basically you're like 4,000 meters. So yeah, very nice. And then yeah, what else? Yeah, you also have the volcano park, which is right at the bottom of the teleférico, basically. And yeah, this is also nice to visit. It's an amusement park, so yeah. Okay, next on the list we have yeah, we have Mitad del Mundo and Museo Templo del Sol. So these two objectives, let's call them, are close to each other, and yeah, basically the Mitad del Mundo translates to like the middle of the world, which is actually a monument, as you can see in the video here somewhere. Yeah, which basically highlights the exact location of the equator. So this is the place where you split the earth into like the northern and the southern. Yeah, and also like I said, the museum is very close, so definitely worth visiting. Okay, then at number 5 we have Ichimbia Park, and I said others. This one is very nice, and I've actually stayed, like my accommodation was actually close to the park. I had basically keys to this park, and yeah, it's basically like a tourist viewpoint, and it offers like a 360 degrees view all around. Very nice. You can check the videos. And yeah, it's basically, according to the internet, it's like 100 meters above the city of Quito. So yeah, you can have a view of everything. Then we have the Metropolitan Park, which is one of the city's largest green spaces. So this is one of the biggest parks out there. Very nice, ideal for hiking, if you want to go with a bicycle, if you want to do camping, barbecues, all kinds of sports, and it's free and open to the public, so definitely worth visiting. Okay, then we have translated in English, the Temple of the Fatherland Museum, Templo de la Patria. Yeah, so this one is, as the name says, is actually a museum, and is located on the exact spot where the Battle of Pichincha took place. So it's basically where Quito had like the last battle to free itself from the Spanish. From the Spanish. Definitely worth visiting. And then what do we have? Number 8, I called Neon Extreme Valley and Parque Acquatico Acqua Azul. So these are two of the these are activities, these are places where you would do activities. In the aquatic park, of course, there's nothing to visit, you go there to take a bath. And then in the valley, this is also nice to visit if you just want to be there and see how others are having fun. But ideally you would go there to see to do activities like zip lines, and they have like hanging bridges that you have to cross and all kinds of other things. Very nice. And okay, let's see what's next. On the list we have Mindo Valley. Now Mindo. Many people told me about Mindo, especially the taxi drivers. This is a very touristy location. It's not in Quito, it's outside of Quito, but basically it's reachable from Quito. And this is how is it called? It's basically like a cloud forest. So it's a place in nature where you can see all kinds of birds, butterflies, flowers. There are also several waterfalls. So it's a really pretty, let's say, corner of nature. Alright. And then we have the last one on my list would be the Cotopaxi volcano, which again is not in Quito, is outside of Quito. I think it's like 50 kilometers. And this is a very iconic volcano in Ecuador. It's in Ecuador. It's basically standing at 5,897 meters, so it's very high. And it's basically one of the world's highest active volcanoes. And definitely worth visiting, worth climbing if you go to Quito. And this is basically my top 10 things to see and do in Quito. I have unfortunately, I have not seen all of them due to my low budget and due to the weather. It was raining a lot, So basically what I would suggest, if you want to visit Quito, make sure you plan at least 10 days of holidays, excluding the arrival and the departure day. So make sure that you have 10 full days for activities. Otherwise you would, I would say you would regret coming to Quito for less. So minimum of 10 days, and then yeah, make sure you have some budget. I would say $500 the minimum to pay for all these activities, not activities, but like, yeah, also activities, museums, taxis, and all sorts of things. Yeah, and also what I would recommend, if you visit Quito, try to get an apartment as accommodation, not a hotel. So if you want to get a more authentic experience of the Quito, try to get an apartment, like one of the ones I stayed in. And also try to avoid eating at fancy touristy restaurants. So basically, if you come to Quito and you want to get the full experience, I would suggest to avoid these places. So get like a traditional apartment, like a traditional place, and then eat from smaller restaurants, not the ones that are highly rated and fancy and expensive, because yeah, you will find pretty much every type of food, and even more not so fancy dishes that the fancy restaurants don't serve. So if you really want to get the full experience. Yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching. Those were my top 10 things to do and see in Quito. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Also, if you visited Quito, or if you are from Quito, or if you consider I missed something very important, please drop a comment and let me know. Have a great day, evening, whatever time it is there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.